Incendio. Glacius. Lumos.
Dear Serona, I conjured this wee gift for you as a token of my gratitude. If you hadn't stood your ground on my behalf during Quidditch practice last week, I might have left the team altogether. And now we've won the Quidditch Cup. Ravenclaw House would not be the same without you. Yours sincerely, Sean. Circle button.
This must be Serona's box of letters.
My dear Serona, I've sent a note separately to dear Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle for their hospitality but felt the need to put quill to parchment with my thanks to you as well. What a lovely respite from the castle. I won't soon forget how we giggled about that ridiculous gnome. Did he truly believe that he was singing? And Mrs. Sprottle's steak and kidney pie was simply glorious. I shall be dreaming of it for days. I so appreciate you including me. I fear I must warn you, however, that this does not mean I will go easy on you in next week's match. You know that Ravenclaw is no match at all for Slytherin this year. Most gratefully yours, Philomena. Right stick. Scroll. Circle button. Dear Serona, when I arrived here, I had a troubling sense that in many ways I wasn't like the other first years. I confess I worried that Hogwarts might not have been the proper place for me and pondered sending an owl to my parents asking them to fetch me almost before the first week of classes had ended. How did you know? I presume you're not secretly a Legilimens, but I wonder that you seemed to know my thoughts better than I did myself. That day in the Three Broomsticks when you spotted me huddled in a corner, staring blankly at an untouched butterbeer and an empty bit of parchment, my quill dripping ink woefully onto the floor, and you came to sit with me, well, I shall never forget it. I recall a sudden sense of relief as if someone had cast a levitation charm on me when you told me about how nervous you'd been to come to Hogwarts. I looked at you and it seemed beyond my imagination to think of you as anything but the confident, contented witch sitting before me. In the days that followed, I marveled at how you charmed in the non-magical sense, I mean everyone around you without apology embracing who you were and who they were. It was as though a candle had flickered on for me. I realized that I could choose that path as well. Now that my school years are ending, the frightened first year which I had been seems worlds away. And I know it's because you saw yourself in that despairing creature in the corner of the pub and so generously extended yourself to her. Yours sincerely, Mirabelle. P.S. Please tell Mrs. Sprottle that I still plan on visiting her and Mr. Sprottle whenever I can for their delightful conversation and, I am unashamed to admit, her incomparable cauldron cakes. Right stick. Scroll. Circle button. Back. Dear Serona, happy birthday, my darling friend. I sneaked into the kitchens and asked Fienke to make your favorite cream crowdie. She was delighted to oblige. Not sure where she got raspberries at this time of year. Genius, that Finky. Bess. Circle button. Back. Dear Mrs. Sprottle, Mother and Father were delighted to hear that you and I had spent the afternoon at Gladrag's last Saturday. Truth be told, I think my mother was ever so slightly envious. I shan't soon forget how heartily we laughed at my efforts to lace the bodice of my new dress. A challenge indeed. As is the rather delicate practice of properly situating a hat pin without wounding either my hat or my head. But I adore everything that we selected, and I have you to thank for now feeling like a marvelously fashionable witch. It was also a treat to dine at the Three Broomsticks without having to clear the tables. I shall own a place like that one day, mark my words. I consider myself more than lucky that you and Mr. Sprottle agreed to let me stay. I know that my parents feel precisely the same way. Yours gratefully, Sirona. Right stick. Scroll.
I think that's everything. Sirona will be glad to have this back. I should find Mrs. Sprottle. She'll be glad to get these hawk lumps.
Cross button. Map, South Hogs, wait. Map, Hogsmeade Valley, wait.
Not sure how I'd fare in a little place like this.
Dorothy wanted me to buy her a golden cauldron. Golden? I told her she
Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. I have good news. I was able to harvest some hawk lumps for you, and I found Sirona's box of letters.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion. And Sirona will be delighted to have those letters. How kind of you. Now you be careful heading back to Hogsmeade.
I should take this box of letters to Sirona. She'll be glad to have it back.
Map, South the Highlands, Hogsmeade map, Hogwarts map, Venomous River.
Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some Hawk Clumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
Happy to help. May I ask you about the letters in the box?
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
Were you on the Quidditch team? Is Mirabelle Professor Garlic? Are Mrs. Sprottle and you as close as you were you on the
One of the letters mentions Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw.
Happy to help. Were you on the Quidditch team? Is Mirabelle Professor Garlic?
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlic?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
Happy to help. Were you on the Quidditch team? Is Mirabelle or Mrs. Sprottle and you as close as you seem?
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aidan. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand. And not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
Happy to help.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aidan. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.
Map, Hogsmeade. Gladrag's Wizard Level. Quests. Map. Hogsmeade. Level. Settings. Quests. All. Professor. In the shadow of the estate. I promised Sebastian I would meet him. Professor Sharp's assignment 2. Professor Sharp wants me to use a Thunderbrew potion against some enemies. In the Professor. The elf. In the shadow of the estate. I promised Sebastian I would meet him. Cross button. Level. 19. Circle button. Ollivanders. A branch of the renowned wand shop owned and operated the world map. The Hogwarts map. Falbarton Castle, the Highland, South Hogwarts Valley, Central Hogwarts, Ancient Hogwarts, the Highlands, and the Highlands, in the shadow, Rookwood Castle, South Feldcroft, the Highlands, Merlin Trial, the Feldcroft region, Feldcroft Catacomb, the Highland, South Sea, Northern South Sea, Hogwarts Valley, Keenbridge. Merlin Trial. Merlin Trials are puzzles alleged. Central Hogwarts, South Hogwarts region. The Lost Astrolabe. The Highlands, South Hogwarts region. Enemy level. 1 to 20. Collection chests. 0 out of 9. Merlin Trial, Hogwarts Valley. Merlin Trial. Hogwarts Valley. Enemy, Feldcroft, West Hog.
grave? I'd say we know.
Cross button.
Revelio.
Lumos. Utility. Beast petting brush. Knapsack. Triangle button. Art.
I should dismount here.
Cross.
You made it.
Enjoying the view?
Keeping an eye on things. Feldcroft isn't what it used to be. No one has felt safe here since Ranrock's loyalists took a peculiar interest in that castle over there. Rookwood Castle. My uncle Solomon is a former Auror and refuses to look into it, even after Anne was cursed by one of them. Possibly with a wand, no less.
I heard a goblin refer to wizard kind as wand carriers. Are goblins forbidden from carrying wands?
Precisely. That's why I'm on the hunt for answers. If I'm to cure her, I need to understand what happened to her. Anne was always the most mischievous of the three of us. which is saying something, knowing me and Ominous. I'm hoping a surprise visit from me and a new friend from Hogwarts will help lift her spirits. Bring back the Anne I used to know. Come on, I'll take you to my uncle's. This way. Feldcroft used to be a lot livelier, with Ranrock's lot wandering about all the time. Everyone stays out of sight. Here we are. My sister should be just inside.
Aha!
Sebastian, where did you... Is that what I think it is?
We've been over this, boy.
Hey!
Shrivelfigs cannot reverse a curse. Nothing can. The sooner you accept that reality, the better.
But we haven't tried everything.
There is no cure! When will you accept that?
Never. I can never accept it.
Now look what you've done.
I'm sorry.
Leave.
I'm sorry you had to see that. If you don't mind, I just need a moment alone.
Poor Sebastian. Not the visit he'd hoped for.
I'm sorry about earlier. Those bouts of pain are difficult to bear.
Are you all right, Anne? I didn't mean to intrude.
You didn't, truly. And I'm all right. The pain from this curse comes in bouts, and often suddenly. It's not anyone's fault. It's nice to meet you, by the way. You must be the new 5th year Sebastian told me about.
I am. Sebastian and I met during a rather lively duel in Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Oh, dear Professor Hecat. She's a powerful witch. And she knows how to keep students like my brother, and me, in line.
I do miss Hogwarts, but I wouldn't mind being in Feldcroft, really, if it wasn't so dreary now. Between the goblins at the castle and my uncle fighting with Sebastian whenever he's home, it's not the cozy retreat it once was.
Sebastian mentioned something about your uncle being an ex-Auror, but refusing to go after Ranrock's loyalists. I must say, I wasn't prepared for him to be as angry as he was.
Uncle Solomon is frustrated by what happened to me, and by Sebastian for thinking he can fix it. They both mean well, I know they do, but my uncle is right. This curse cannot be undone. I can feel it. Sebastian cannot take away my pain. Perhaps you can help him to understand that.
I can try. Sebastian's made up his mind. I can try.
I'll do my best. I can promise to speak with him about it.
Thank you. His search for a cure is futile, I'm afraid. I'm getting tired. I should probably rest. Thank you for stopping by. I wish you well.
Dear Anne, Hogwarts isn't the same without you. Well, Sharp is still as foul. But, you know what I mean. I hope you're feeling better. Sebastian. Sir. Sebastian, this is my potion kit, not yours. Leave my things be. Anne.
That boy will fray my last nerve.
Excuse me, Mr. Sallow.
Oh, yes, Sebastian's friend. I apologize on behalf of my nephew. He doesn't know when to stop. I was about to check on Anne. Did I see you come from the house? How is she?
She's all right. She said she was going to rest.
Nothing can be done for her.
I'm so sorry. Surely there's something.
It could be that you've not yet discovered the cure.
Ah, you sound like Sebastian, thinking you know better than the healers at St. Mungo's.
Perhaps the healers don't know everything, sir. Sebastian is single-mindedly focused on finding a way to help his sister. If there is a cure, he will find it.
Your faith in Sebastian is misplaced. Some sort of dark magic cursed Anne, and the goblins aren't likely to explain themselves anytime soon. Giving her hope is cruel. The only thing to do now is keep Anne comfortable and stay out of the Loyalists' way.
I understand. Hope could be a good thing. I understand. Hope could...
With all due respect, sir, hope could keep Anne's spirits up.
You may mean well, but I know what's best for Anne and Sebastian. They are my stubborn brother's children. Especially Sebastian. If you really want to be of help, you'll make sure Sebastian does what he should do, not what he wants to do. He's no idea the harm he could do if he doesn't stop. I hope you'll remember what I've said. Good day.
I ought to see how Sebastian's faring.
Why will he not listen to me? She's my sister.
How are you doing, Sebastian?
You got a first-hand glance at what I'm dealing with. I apologize for my uncle.
He was out of line. He's trying to do what's right. He was out of line.
I'll admit, I wasn't expecting him to be so angry.
He's always angry. He's been angry since my parents died. After Anne was hurt, he only grew worse. It's as though he blames me somehow, always calling me my father's son, as if that's an insult. I'm the one trying to help her. He's simply given up.
Both Anne and your uncle seem genuinely convinced that nothing more can be done for her.
I refuse to believe that. Anne's pain is more than physical. It has changed her entirely. I miss my sister. And I'm going to get her back. Come with me. I need to show you where it happened. Ranrock's Loyalists are capable of so...
Map, Feldcroft region. Flue Flames, currently an ancient magic hotspot. Feldcroft. Feldcroft is a quaint village in the countryside. Ancient magic hotspot. Feldcroft. Feldcroft is a quaint village in the countryside. Feldcroft. 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 Feldcroft is a quaint village. Ancient magic hotspot. Merlin Trial. Merlin Trials are Merlin Trial. Feldcroft. The Feldcroft region. Enemy left. Flue Flames, currently on Feldcroft. Feldcroft is a quaint village in the countryside. Feldcroft. Feldcroft is a quaint village in the countryside. On the Highlands. Feldcroft Merlin Trial. Player location.
People realize they should not be underestimated. All the debris you'll see is from whatever's going on at that abandoned estate. They've been digging for something. Up there, on that plateau, is where they cursed Anne. This way.
How much longer are we expected to dig through this rubble? Ramrock knows what he's doing. It's an honor to be a part of it. Only because we're the dead wizard in my book. This is where you fail.
Incendio. Lumos. Expelliarmus.
Hello?
Incendio. Lumos.
One less human. Rather unwise coming back this way.
Lumos. Disillusion. Expelliarmus. Triangle button. R2 button. Depulso. Incendio. Confringo. Triangle.
Confringo.
Lumos. Utility. Allows you to see in dark areas or solve puzzles that require extra light. Glacius. Triangle. R2 button.
There you are. Seems your art isn't in this at all.
Expelliarmus. Incendio.
Do you think this is funny?
Confringo. Incendio. Confringo. Expelliarmus.
I won't rest. You're dead.
Incendio. Confringo. Glacius. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Incendio.
Are you quite finished? Put me down! You are postponing the inevitable.
Confringo. Incendio. Expelliarmus. Glacius. Incendio. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Glacius. Incendio.
How childish.
Incendio. Confringo.
All of Ranrock's loyalists deserve the same fate. Nice work.
Lumos. Depulso. Accio. Force. Disillusionment. Lumos. Utility. Crucio. Accio. Levioso. Transformation. Depulso. Defindo. Expelliarmus. Reparo. Triangle button. Art.
Reparo.